Nice to meet you. Welcome to my office.
I'm Guido Pellegrino. Nice to meet you.
So Guido, it seems to me that you were charged with a weapons offense. Isn't that correct?
I did a very stupid thing. Yes, that's true.
You want to tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. Well, I think that what my wife did was stupider, but I'm a 53-year-old man. My wife is in her 50s too, let's just say. We've been married for over 30 years, and recently my father passed away. I've been feeling a little depressed. Our marriage has suffered as a result of it, and she decided that she was going to start seeing a younger guy. And I found out about it. He was visiting her all the time at the pharmacy. The more that I asked her questions about it, the shadier she got. She started taking phone calls in the bathroom, and the more I asked her questions, I realized that she was really probably having an affair. I confronted her about it, and eventually she finally did admit that she was having an affair. So I decided that we were going to pay this guy a visit. But I did the stupid thing. I took a loaded weapon. I didn't use it. I didn't really even intend on using it, but I had it in my pants. And when we stopped at one of her coworkers' house, Gloria, to find out where this guy lives, I got kind of told on. And so the police came, they found the weapon, and I got charged.
I appreciate you being candid with me. I just wanted to let you know that you've come to the right place. I represent a lot of people charged with gun offenses. I have a strong familiarity with the gun offenses. It's a New Jersey gun law guide, and I'm comfortable with gun issues. I wanted to let you know that in New Jersey there is something called the Graves Act, which is pretty serious. So because you were charged with what's called unlawful possession of a weapon, it's considered now a little bit more serious crime. So I just want to give you a little bit of a background. It used to be what's called a third-degree crime, unlawful possession of a weapon. However, now it is a second-degree crime. As you can see, examples of second-degree crimes are armed robbery and sexual assault. So it's pretty serious. And if you look at the chart, if you go through the chart here, it discusses that there is a presumption that you would go to jail. So right now what you're charged with is a second-degree offense. However, you've come to the right place because I happen to be known as a fighter. People tell me, you know the guy that goes into court, shakes everybody's hand, says hello, that kind of lawyer? That's not me, just so you know. I'm the fighter type of personality. So I know that because your fact pattern, what you just told me, we have to be cognizant of what's called the Graves Act. Now the Graves Act discusses your actual fact pattern is the state would be looking for 5 years in jail, except they actually want a 2-year mandatory jail time for your charge.
So you tell me I'm probably going to jail?
I have to be upfront with you at first, and I want to tell you that. However, there is some defenses that you can make, and you could possibly get what's called a 3 with a 1, which is a year in jail. However, we've talked about your case a little bit, and I happen to know some of the defenses, and one of the defenses is to get out of what's called the Graves Act, which is what we're talking about here. You could, if you show that you didn't take the weapon and use it, which we know in this fact pattern, it wasn't loaded, and you have no prior criminal record, there's a possibility that I can get you probation. And there's a very, very difficult possibility or an extreme possibility that gets you what's called PTI, which is a first offense. And
What does PTI stand for?
It's called pretrial intervention. It's the first time you're charged with a crime. You've never been charged with a crime before, right? You have no prior criminal record.
No prior.
And it's a program where you're supervised by the state. It's like an unsupervised probation, and you have no record, and you actually are not admitting guilt. That would be like a home run. But I'm going to do all I can to try to do that, and I actually have done that for people, and recently I did it, and you have to come through and you let the prosecutor know about 12 different good things about you. It's actually a little bit more. It's about 20 different things I could say about you, and we'll talk about that. But I do want to say that you have a little bit of an anger management issue. It's obvious you've had some issues in regard to your wife cheating. I'm sorry, I have to say that. And I would like you to see a counselor. I have my retainer agreement. I always think it's beneficial to see a counselor. So I'm suggesting and as I have it in all retainer agreements, that you see a licensed social worker, psychologist, inpatient, outpatient drug rehab, AA or NA, or anything that I think might enhance the representation of your case. And I ask that you get a report. So I'm suggesting that you go see somebody that I recommend. If you have somebody, that's great, but I'm suggesting, I think it will help your case.
I don't believe in shrinks.
Well, I just think it will help, and I think a prosecutor will be a little bit more understanding. Because in situations like this, the court wants to see if you're a harm to yourself or others. You did have a gun, you did bring it out of the home. I just want to ask you, do you have a right to carry, or do you have a firearms ID card for that gun?
I have in the past carried, yes.
Okay.
I've had firearms ID card in the past.
But for now, you don't have it for this gun.
Right.
Okay. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult, but it shows that you have an understanding of guns and have carried legally in the past.
I am very respectful of them, and I will go see a counselor. I'll do whatever it takes to stay out of jail.
I appreciate that. I'm going to work very hard for you, and I happen to be somebody that has a good familiarity with this type of issue, and we're going to try to get you probation. And originally, if you just walked out of my office and tried to resolve this case on your own, it would be a 5 with a 3, possibly a 3 with a 1, so you would actually have to go to jail for a year. And I'm going to fight very hard to try to get you in what's called PTI. So if you follow all my recommendations, and I'll walk you through the process, and we'll have a nice rapport, you'll call me, and I'll make sure that I do the best I can for you, and I think you'll get a good result.
Where do I sign? I don't care what it costs.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the confidence in me, and I guess you were referred to me by somebody I took care of before, or maybe somebody that you're close to.
It's a good friend of mine, Peter Greenbound.
Okay, I know Peter very well. He's a good person, and he referred you to the right place. Works at a good law firm, and we have a nice rapport. He knows that I take care of his clients if he sends me clients. And all right, so we'll go over the retainer agreement. We'll sign the retainer. Here's the retainer if you want to look it over. Feel free.
Should I call my lawyer?
I think you can handle it on your own. You're a business owner. So I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to taking care of you. I'll be there at all stages of the process. I'll make sure that we fight the fight, and you'll get a good result.
Thank you very much.
All right, my pleasure.